I grew up in Algeria, a large country on the North African coast, a large country between Tunisia, Libya, and Morocco. And in the heart of Algeria, in a small, whisper-quiet village nestled among the undulating dunes of the Sahara, I experienced a terror that has clung to me, persistent as the desert's sand. My name is Sofiane, and at the time of this harrowing experience, I was a 25-year-old man, teeming with the arrogance of youth and an insatiable curiosity for the mysteries that lay beyond the confines of our known world. It was during the sweltering summer of 2015, a time when the sun bared down upon the earth with unyielding ferocity, that my encounter with the inexplicable occurred. My friends and I, emboldened by tales of desert spirits and ancient curses, decided to embark on a camping trip to the heart of the Sahara, eager to witness the beauty of the desert under the cloak of night. Our journey led us to a secluded spot, miles from the nearest village, where the only sounds were the whispering winds and the distant cries of nocturnal creatures. As night descended upon us, a chilling unease settled in my bonies, an instinctual fear of the vast, open darkness that enveloped us. That night, as we huddled around a flickering campfire, sharing stories and laughter, a sudden silence fell upon us. It was as if the desert itself had hushed in anticipation. The air grew colder, and a thick fog began to roll in, an unusual occurrence in the dry climate of the Sahara. From the depths of the fog, a figure emerged. It was a woman, or so it seemed, draped in tattered robes, her face obscured by the shadows. She spoke in a language none of us understood, a haunting, melodious voice that seemed to echo from all around us. Frozen in fear, we watched as she approached, her movements slow and deliberate. It was then that I noticed her feet did not touch the ground, but hovered inches above the sand. My heart raced as panic set in, but I was paralyzed, unable to move or look away. She stopped just outside the circle of light cast by our campfire, and in a moment that I will never forget, she lifted her head. Where her face should have been was an empty void, a darkness so profound it seemed to swallow the light around it. In an instant, she vanished, and the fog with her, leaving us in stunned silence. We packed our belongings in a frenzy and fled back to the village under the cover of night, driven by an instinctual fear of the unknown. Upon our return, we shared our tale with the elders of the village, who listened with somber faces. They spoke of the jinn, ancient spirits of the desert, neither good nor evil, but capricious beings who often took pleasure in the fear of mortals. To this day, I cannot explain what we saw in the heart of the Sahara. Was it a trick of the mind, a figment of our collective imagination fueled by the tales of spirits and curses? Or did we truly encounter a being from another realm, a reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of our understanding? What I do know is that the experience has changed me. I no longer view the world through the naive eyes of youth, but with a respect for the unknown, a humility before the vast mysteries of our world. The deserts of Algeria, with their haunting beauty and ancient secrets, will forever hold a place in my heart, a reminder of the night when the veil between worlds grew thin, and I came face to face with the inexplicable. In the labyrinthine alleyways of Algiers, where the past and present meld into a tapestry of mystery and history, I found myself ensnared in a tale so chilling, it haunts me to this day. My name is Lena, a 29-year-old woman who, at the time, was a graduate student deeply immersed in the study of North African folklore. It was the spring of 2018, and I had ventured into the heart of Algeria, seeking the remnants of stories untold, whispered secrets that had survived through generations. Algiers, with its whitewashed buildings cascading towards the sea, held an allure that was both enchanting and foreboding. My research led me to the Kasbah, a place as enigmatic as the tales it inspired. The ancient quarter, with its narrow streets and sprawling marketplaces, was like stepping back in time, where every stone and shadow whispered secrets of the old world. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of fire and gold, I found myself lost in the maze of the Kasbah. The bustling noise of the day had given way to an eerie silence, punctuated only by my footsteps on the ancient cobblestones. It was then that I heard it, a soft, melancholic melody floating through the air. The sound was haunting, a flute perhaps, playing a tune that seemed both unfamiliar and oddly compelling. Drawn by the melody, I followed the sound through twisting alleyways until I came upon a small square, deserted and bathed in the soft glow of the moonlight. In the center, a figure sat alone, playing the flute. The music was mesmerizing, each note weaving a tapestry of emotions, from deepest sorrow to a fleeting, ephemeral joy. Curiosity piqued, I approached, intending to speak to the musician. However, as I drew closer, a chill ran down my spine. The figure was draped in traditional garments, their face obscured by the shadows, and yet there was an otherworldly quality to them, a sense of being out of place and time. I reached out, my voice barely a whisper. "Excuse me, your music is beautiful. May I ask who you are?" The music stopped abruptly, and the figure turned to face me. My heart froze. Where a face should have been, there was only darkness, a void that seemed to pull at my very soul. In that instant, fear gripped me, a primal, all-consuming terror. I stumbled backward, my eyes locked on the figure, as it slowly rose to its feet. The air around us grew colder, the silence of the square now oppressive, suffocating. Without a word, the figure vanished, disappearing into the night as if it had never been. The melody ceased, leaving behind a heavy silence. Shaken to my core, I fled the Casbah, my heart pounding in my chest. The streets that had once charmed me now seemed malevolent, hiding secrets too dark to comprehend. I left Algeria shortly after, my research unfinished, my soul marked by the encounter. The melody haunts my dreams, a reminder of that night in the Casbah, of the figure with no face and a melody that bridged the gap between worlds. To this day, I cannot explain what I witnessed. Some say it was a jinn, a spirit of the land. Others, a ghost caught between worlds. All I know is that Algiers holds a mystery, a story as old as time itself, and I, unwittingly, became a part of it. The experience has changed me, leaving me with a respect for the unknown and a cautious reverence for the stories and legends that weave through the fabric of Algeria's rich history. I was a 32-year-old photographer from the bustling city of Constantine, Algeria, with a fervent passion for capturing the unseen and the unexplored. My journey into the depths of fear began in the autumn of 2019, a period when the amber hues of fall painted the landscapes and ancient ruins of my homeland. Driven by a desire to document the beauty of Algeria's lesser-known locales, I embarked on an expedition that would forever alter my perception of reality. My quest led me to the outskirts of a forgotten village, nestled in the shadow of the Oasis Mountains. This place, according to local lore, was abandoned overnight in the 1960s for reasons no one dared to speak of. Intrigued and undeterred by the ominous warnings from the few locals I encountered, I ventured into the heart of the village at dusk, my camera in hand, eager to capture what had been left behind. The village was a relic of a bygone era, with derelict houses and overgrown pathways. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows through the empty streets, a chilling silence enveloped me. There was a palpable sense of unease in the air, as if the village itself was holding its breath. Determined to explore further, I found myself drawn to a particular house, its door ajar, as if inviting me in. The interior was shrouded in darkness, save for the faint light that filtered through the broken windows. As I made my way through the rooms, my camera captured the decay and desolation, a testament to the abrupt departure of its inhabitants. It was in the basement of the house that I encountered the inexplicable. As I descended the creaky stairs, a cold draft greeted me, carrying with it a faint whisper, like someone murmuring in distress. I paused, listening intently, but the sound was gone as quickly as it had come.
I continued, reaching the bottom of the stairs, where I found an old, dust-covered mirror leaning against the wall. Curious, I approached, peering into the glass, expecting to see my own reflection staring back at me. Instead, I saw a figure, a woman standing behind me. Her eyes were hollow, her expression one of sorrow and pleading.
Startled, I spun around, but there was no one there. The basement was empty, save for the relics of the past. When I looked back into the mirror, the figure was gone, leaving only my reflection in the dim light. Panic surged within me, a primal fear that urged me to flee. I rushed from the basement, out of the house, and didn't stop until I reached the safety of my car. As I drove away, the weight of what I had experienced bore down on me. a mixture of fear and disbelief. The photographs I took that day captured the eerie beauty of the abandoned village, but none showed the mysterious figure in the mirror. Yet, the image is etched in my memory, a haunting reminder of the unseen world that exists alongside our own. I've since returned to my life in Constantine, but the experience has left its mark on me. I no longer venture into places forgotten by time, nor do I seek out the mysteries that lurk in the shadows. The village on the outskirts of the Oasis Mountains holds a secret, a story untold, and I, unwittingly, became a part of its history. My encounter in that desolate place has taught me to respect the boundaries between the known and the unknown, to heed the warnings whispered by the wind, and to fear the silence that falls over abandoned spaces, for in that silence, the past reaches out, reminding us that some things are best left undiscovered. My name is Karim, a 26-year-old history teacher from the serene town of Tlemcen, located in the northwest of Algeria, known for its rich history and breathtaking landscapes. The events I'm about to recount transpired in late October 2020, during a period of my life when my fascination with Algeria's ancient ruins had reached its zenith. This curiosity, however, would soon lead me down a path of terror and bewilderment, forever altering my grasp on the fabric of reality. It was a crisp autumn morning when I decided to explore the ruins of a lesser-known Roman site located in the dense forests near my hometown. This site was not marked on any tourist map. It was something of a local secret, spoken of in hushed tones and with a note of caution. The elders of Tlemcen often whispered of the spirits that guarded the ruins, remnants of a past that refused to be forgotten. My youthful arrogance led me to dismiss these tales as mere superstitions, a decision I would come to regret deeply. Armed with my backpack, a flashlight, and a camera to document my findings, I set off into the woods. The journey was arduous. The dense foliage and uneven terrain tested my resolve, but the thrill of discovery spurred me on. After several hours, I finally stumbled upon the ruins, their ancient stones emerging like specters from the fog that had begun to envelop the forest. The site was eerily silent. The only sounds were my own footsteps and the distant call of a raven. As I ventured deeper into the ruins, a sense of unease began to take hold, a feeling that I was being watched from the shadows. I pressed on, determined to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within these ancient walls. It was in the heart of the ruins that I found it, an underground chamber, its entrance barely visible among the overgrowth. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, I descended into the darkness, the beam of my flashlight cutting through the gloom. The air inside was cold, stale, as if it had been undisturbed for centuries. I explored the chamber, marveling at the intricacies of the Roman architecture until my light fell upon a series of carvings. They depicted scenes of rituals and offerings, a glimpse into the spiritual life of those who once inhabited this place. It was then that I heard it, a soft whisper echoing through the chamber. At first, I thought it was the wind, but as I listened, I realized the sound was forming words, calling my name. Karim! Frozen in fear, I scanned the darkness for the source of the voice. It was then that I saw her, a woman, dressed in the garb of ancient Rome, her eyes hollow, her expression one of profound sorrow. She reached out to me, her hand passing through the beam of my flashlight, as if she were made of mist. I staggered backward, my mind racing to comprehend what I was seeing. The woman's whispers grew louder, more urgent, as if pleading with me. Overcome by terror, I turned and fled the chamber, the woman's cries echoing in my ears as I ascended into the light. I did not stop running until I had emerged from the forest, the ruins and their spectral inhabitant left far behind. In the safety of my home, I tried to rationalize what I had experienced, to convince myself it was the product of fatigue and an overactive imagination. Yet, the memory of the woman's sorrowful eyes haunted me, a stark reminder of the encounter that had shattered my perception of reality. Since that day, I have not returned to the ruins, nor have I ventured into the unknown, as I once did. The experience has left me with a deep respect for the stories and warnings of the elders, a recognition that some mysteries are best left undisturbed. The ruins near Tlemcen hold a secret, a connection to the past that is both beautiful and terrifying, a reminder that the spirits of history may not rest as peacefully as we believe. I'm Samir, a 34-year-old software developer from Annaba, a coastal city in the northeast of Algeria, known for its beautiful beaches and the haunting ruins of Hippo Regius. My tale unfolds not amidst the digital constructs of my profession, but within the ancient confines of these ruins, where history whispers secrets through the crumbling stones. It was here, in the late autumn of 2021, that curiosity led me to confront the unimaginable, a memory that lingers like a shadow, cold and unyielding. My interest in photography, a hobby that serves as a counterbalance to my structured world of code, drew me to the ruins one evening. I sought to capture the interplay of light and shadow as the sun dipped below the horizon, breathing life into the ancient city where St. Augustine once walked. The ruins, located just outside the bustling life of modern Annaba, were deserted at this hour, allowing me the solitude I craved for my work. The air was cool, carrying the scent of the sea as I set up my equipment. The light was perfect, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch and reach out across the ground. I was so absorbed in my task that I scarcely noticed the encroaching dusk, nor the silent warning that daylight was my only companion in this place of forgotten histories. As twilight deepened, I decided to explore a part of the site I had previously avoided, drawn by an inexplicable urge to see what lay beyond. This area, less excavated and more overgrown, held the promise of untouched vistas for my eager lens. It was there, amidst the dense foliage and unyielding earth, that I stumbled upon a small, nondescript opening, concealed from casual observation. Driven by a mixture of excitement and an uncharacteristic recklessness, I decided to enter. The passage led me into a small chamber, hidden beneath the earth, untouched by the light of day. My flashlight revealed walls covered in intricate mosaics and inscriptions, a treasure hidden from the world above. But it was not the beauty of the chamber that seized my attention. It was the sound, a low, mournful wailing that seemed to emanate from the very walls. Rational thought told me it was the wind, finding its way through unseen crevices. Yet, the sound bore a cadence, a rhythm that spoke of lament and longing. As I stood there, entranced, the air grew colder, and I felt a presence, as though someone, or something, stood just beyond the reach of my light. I turned, expecting to confront an animal, or perhaps another late visitor like myself. Instead, I found myself alone, save for the oppressive feeling of being watched. The wailing grew louder, more insistent, and I felt a tug at the edge of my coat, like the desperate grasp of someone seeking salvation. Panic surged through me, a primal directive that screamed for me to flee. I stumbled back through the passage, my only thought to escape the suffocating darkness and the unseen entity that dwelled within. I emerged into the night, the ruins now cast in a sinister pallor by the light of the moon. I didn't stop to gather my equipment. I didn't dare look back as I fled towards the safety of the city lights. The events of that night remain with me, a chilling reminder of the unseen worlds that exist just beyond the veil of our understanding. The ruins of Hippo Regius, with their ancient stones and whispered histories, hold a secret that I was not meant to discover. I've since returned to my life, surrounded by the logical clarity of code, but the memory of that night lingers, a shadow that no light can dispel. My experience has taught me respect for the mysteries that history guards so jealously, a lesson learned not through the pages of a book, but through the visceral reality of fear. The ancient city of Annaba whispers tales of the past, some beautiful, some filled with sorrow, and some, perhaps, best left untold. I am Farida, a 27-year-old architect from Oran, Algeria's vibrant second city, known for its rich history and stunning colonial architecture. My story is one that I've hesitated to share, fearing disbelief and the dredging up of memories I'd rather forget. It happened in the spring of 2022, during a project that required me to visit several historical sites for inspiration on integrating traditional Algerian motifs into modern design. One site, in particular, captivated me: the ruins of an old Kasbah located in the remote hinterlands of the Dahra Mountains. Local lore was rich with tales of the Kasbah, said to have been the site of a great tragedy centuries ago, where an entire population vanished overnight under mysterious circumstances. My curiosity, coupled with my professional interest, led me to arrange a visit to the Kasbah, hoping to uncover architectural elements that could bridge the past with the present. The journey was long and arduous, taking me through winding mountain roads and ancient landscapes that seemed untouched by time. Upon arriving, the sight of the Kasbah's crumbling walls, standing defiantly against the backdrop of the rugged mountains, was both awe-inspiring and somber. The air was thick with the scent of wild herbs and the unmistakable touch of decay. As I explored the ruins, documenting my findings with sketches and photographs, an unsettling silence enveloped the area. It was as if the very stones were holding their breath, watching me. Distracted by my work, I barely noticed the passage of time until the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of crimson and gold. That's when I heard it, a soft, almost imperceptible humming, echoing through the empty halls and courtyards. At first, I thought it was the wind, but as I paused to listen, the sound took on a distinct melody, haunting and beautiful, yet filled with an indescribable sadness. Compelled by a mix of fear and fascination, I followed the sound, which seemed to be emanating from beneath the earth. In a secluded part of the Kasbah, hidden from the casual glance, I discovered an ancient well, its stones worn by centuries of use. The melody grew louder as I approached, resonating from the dark depths below. Peering into the abyss, I called out, asking if anyone was there, but only the echo of my own voice replied, mingled with the unending melody. A sudden gust of wind swept through the Kasbah, carrying with it whispers in a language I couldn't understand. And in that moment, I felt an overwhelming presence around me, as if the air itself had become charged with ancient secrets and sorrows. Fear took hold, primal and consuming, urging me to flee. I gathered my things and rushed back to my car, leaving the Kasbah and its spectral melody behind. As I drove away, the haunting sound seemed to follow me, lingering in the air long after the ruins had disappeared from view. The experience at the Kasbah left me with more questions than answers, a deep sense of unease that not even the bright lights of Oran could dispel. I abandoned the project, unable to reconcile the beauty of the architecture with the darkness that seemed to dwell at the heart of the ruins. To this day, I cannot explain what I heard or felt within the walls of the ancient Kasbah. Some say it was the wind, others, the echoes of the past. All I know is that in the silence of those ruins, I encountered something beyond the realm of the living, a reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. The Kasbah remains, a silent guardian of history, and I, forever changed, carry its haunting melody within me, a chilling reminder of the day I walked amongst the shadows of the past. In the vast, whispering dunes of the Algerian Sahara, under a canopy of stars so vast it feels like peering into the very soul of the universe, I discovered that some silences can scream. My name is Amin, and at the time of this chilling encounter, I was a 30-year-old travel blogger from Bajaya on a quest to uncover and document the hidden gems of Algeria. This journey, embarked upon in the fall of 2023, led me to the edge of reality and into a night of terror that forever altered my understanding of the world. The Sahara has always held a mystique, a siren call to those drawn to its isolated beauty. I sought to capture this allure, to share the untold stories of the desert and its ancient shifting sands. My destination was a remote oasis, said to be home to ruins that predate the Roman presence in North Africa, a place shrouded in mystery as it was rumored to vanish and reappear, almost as if it moved with the dunes themselves. Armed with only my camera, a notebook, and the essentials for survival, I drove my 4x4 into the heart of the desert, guided by fragmented tales and an old map drawn by a man whose eyes spoke of things he wished he could forget. The journey was long and arduous, with the desert landscape stretching endlessly, a sea of sand beneath the azure sky. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of fire, I arrived at the oasis. It was exactly as described, an emerald jewel amidst the golden sands, with ruins that whispered of a forgotten civilization. The air was filled with the scent of dates and fresh water, a stark contrast to the arid expanse I had traversed. Eager to explore, I set up camp with the intention of investigating the ruins under the early light of dawn. However, as the cloak of night descended, a profound unease settled over me. The oasis, so inviting by day, seemed to morph into a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. The turning point of my tale occurred when I decided to take a midnight stroll, camera in hand, hoping to capture the oasis bathed in moonlight. I hadn't wandered far when I heard it, a soft melodic humming, floating on the breeze. The sound was hypnotic, luring me deeper into the ruins. I followed, entranced, until I came upon a figure shrouded in the moonlight. She was draped in ancient garments, her back to me, humming a melody that felt sorrowful, yet strangely familiar. "Hello?" I called out, my voice shattering the silence. The figure stopped humming and turned slowly. Her eyes were pits of darkness, voids that seemed to pull at my very soul. A chill wind whipped through the ruins, carrying with it a scent of decay and the faintest whisper of words I couldn't understand. Frozen in fear, I watched as she raised a hand, pointing to a part of the ruins untouched by the moon's glow. Compelled by a force I couldn't resist, I moved towards the indicated spot, where the ground gave way beneath my feet, plunging me into darkness. I awoke to the first light of dawn, lying at the bottom of a shallow pit, my camera beside me. Clambering out, I found the Oasis transformed once again into a serene haven. The ruins were silent, the mysterious figure gone as if she had never existed. The photos I took that night revealed nothing but the ruins bathed in moonlight, devoid of any figure or supernatural presence. Yet, I cannot shake the feeling that I encountered something ancient, something that defied explanation. The melody haunts my dreams, a siren call that beckons me back to the Oasis, to uncover the secrets it holds. I've since returned to Bajaya, my journey through the Sahara concluded, but the experience at the Oasis remains etched in my memory, a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden in the vast, silent deserts of Algeria. My travels continue, but with a newfound respect for the tales and legends whispered by the sands, a testament to the fact that some places on this earth are touched by forces beyond our understanding. And there we have it, folks. Our journey through the shadows and into the chilling depths of human nature has come to an end. I hope these tales have sent shivers down your spine, made you glance over your shoulder, or even question the ordinary moments of your daily lives. If you've enjoyed this exploration into the darker side of the human psyche, please don't forget to hit that like button. It helps more than you know. You can always share your thoughts, feelings, or even your own creepy experiences in the comments below. We love hearing from our listeners. And if you're new here or haven't yet joined our Horror Stories family, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our future tales of the macabre and mysterious. Until next time, stay safe, keep the lights on, and remember, the real monsters might be closer than you think.